You are a mansion. My Father's house has many mansions, and all of them are temples, and your body is a temple, and you are a mansion in the house of God. God, the eternal Father. That is eternal. That is all we make mansions of, and all our soul. So I hope you understand that. If you don't, please play this again and try to grasp it. It is not beyond your comprehension. These are not the mysteries. It's a simple truth. All is one. It is like one. It's the simplest number. Have you forgotten? Have you forgotten because of the tree of knowledge of good and evil that causes you to see division and doesn't let you see with the single eye, and your whole body is filled with the true light, the true life, that all is one. Okay? We're not blinded by the loose of Lucifer right now, the light. Okay, that is division too, and sometimes we die. We still live though. Okay, I'm going to stop for just a moment. Now, Messiah ben Joseph, that's supposed to come in the last days. Joseph, son of Joseph, Joseph Smith Jr. Instead of saying son, I know you're going to be surprised by this, but just listen. I'll say this before I go into the Messiah ben Joseph and Messiah ben David. When I was a missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints back in 91, I think, 92, yes. I served 2 years in Mexico and in Texas. We used to give the analogy of the spirit body and the glove. And the glove is the body. And the spirit goes in the body, and we're born on earth in a glove. And we're wearing a glove. And then we die and it's released. Now, you are a spirit body again. Do you find it, Mormons, so impossible? Although you say with God all things are possible, and then you tell me, well, I'm not saying you will, but a lot of people say with God all things are possible. Oh, except that and that and that. Oh no, that's not possible for God. And so I kind of laugh sometimes. But nevertheless, would you be so surprised if someone left their body and died? Now you see two died, and this body is dying and is dying. Can this body ever, since it's now a spirit body again, remember, and it once was born, it once put on a glove, now it's in paradise or spirit prison, wherever you go, I guess, paradise hopefully. Can it be born again into another body? Can't it get back in another glove? Why not? You said it left the glove behind. You said you have been born in more than one estate, and an estate is like a house, a body, a mansion, a temple. You were born of heavenly parents in one estate you call the pre-existence. And then you have another body here. So yeah, estates, different estates, okay? It is one flesh, but it can bend. And that is not so surprising. Messiah ben Joseph. Ben means son. Son. Now, I don't want you to say the son, S-O-N, right now. You get confused. It is on nothing. Let's take the S off. The sun is on something. All that is on nothing, for it is all that is. We're not going to talk about that right now. The soul, S-O-L. Some of you like to say the S-O-U-L. Fine. That blinds you from seeing that it is a son. Okay? Messiah, ben David. Messiah, ben Joseph. Joseph, soul of Joseph. Soul of Joseph, son of Joseph. Ben means son, son of. Joseph, soul of Joseph, has been born. Joseph, soul of Joseph, has been born, and now you have a Joseph Smith. Is that so hard for you to understand? I don't know why it is. Let's talk about Messiah ben David. I want to talk about David before we talk about that, the David that lived over 3,000 years ago. There are certain words that go with David. A tent. His temple was a tent. He never built the temple of Solomon, his son, which gives you a clue that son is soul. But he never built the temple of Solomon. He had to use stakes. He was told because of his sin, yeah, maybe, there may be more to it that you don't realize yet. So don't go quick to judge like you have with David, Mormon Church. Don't be so quick. But yeah, he was a warrior. In fact, David was the reason we have, again, the Salem in Jerusalem. Salem. He took over it, went in through the water ducts, went to Mount Zion, and took over the city of Melchizedek that was once Melchizedek's city on Mount Zion. Before that, they did not have Jerusalem. Okay? He was the 8th son of Jesse. Another 8? Wow. Like the star of Melchizedek? He also was ruddy, which means red. Go back to red. What is red? Well, our iron, we have the iron rod. Okay, we use fe. I have faith. Fe. Fe in Spanish is faith. Iron. I have iron in my blood. And when I take a deep breath, my blue blood turns red. And purple in between. And purple's a royal color, so is my blue blood, and now it is red. The breath of life like a baby. And now I am ready and I am ruddy. And so we associate David with red. Not just because he was not a full-blooded Jew because of his grandmother, Ruth, but because he also was ruddy. And that is a sign. Just like Adam was ruddy, and he gave him the breath of life. And Jacob was ruddy. So we associate David with stakes. Who else was staked? His temple was a tent, and it was held together by stakes. And I imagine those stakes may have been on the inside, not the out, for you wouldn't want somebody to pull out the stake from the outside where it's harboring the Holy of Holies. I'm sure you pulled that tent under and then stuck the stake through it. So the stakes would be on the inside of his temple. What is a temple? Your body's a temple of the Lord. Mormons have stake centers after David's temple, his tent. Jesus' body was staked by the Jews because they did not want to hear all is soul. All is one soul. Even though their name is Israel. El means God. El is a word for God. Ra, where did they get that? I believe from Egypt. Ra was the sun god. Now the is. I don't know for sure. Isis tried to blind in the story Ra, but is sun god? So, when you say, Mormons, about David, let me talk about some lines with David here. He was born in Bethlehem, not Jerusalem, where Solomon may have been born. That's a sign. You call Christ the Good Shepherd. Why did they call him that? For David was a shepherd and a king. The fallen lion king of the Lion of Judah, who became the lamb and was killed by his pride. What is the lion's pride? The children of Israel, who didn't want to accept his message. And had they accepted his message, it would have saved them a lot of problems over the past 2,000 years. Love your neighbor as yourself, for we are one God. You believe in one God? God is one, but not out there. All the L's are one God. All the angels are one. And God is one with all. You have left something out. All is soul, for the eternal God is all that is. I am one with that, said the soul of David, son of David. You see, the Jews are waiting for the soul of David to come from the skies? No. They are waiting for him to be born in his line, in his line, the lion. Now they lie on a lot, let me tell you. And that's fine. We'll talk about the lion in a minute. But we'll talk about the L and ions. That's another story. Ions, you know about ions and electrons and stuff you call an election. We'll talk about that later. But let me just say for now, we'll put that on hold. Soul of David. Now, during his baptism, listen to this carefully, mano a mano. The Father